turn on all chats instead of just whenever the ones they want me to see. Thought I would go live before work. Because I know when I'm at work, it's really, really late if I go live there. Wow, 3 minutes in and nobody's around? What the hell? Come on, people. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Hello, Mary. How's it going? So tell me about your rewards program. Long time no talk, I know. I've been on here for 4 minutes and 43 seconds, and it took this long for somebody to show up. That's why I don't do them much anymore. I mean, what are you going to do? Extra sharp cheddar. I like mozzarella. So tell me about your rewards program. How you figuring it out? I do too. Cheese is a really good source of protein, so I really like cheese. I love to have it as a snack. Um, but I changed my eating habits in the last few weeks too. That's made a difference too. They put me on this pill, this diabetic pill, and I got nosy. 5 referrals and free detail with Engine Bay. 5 referrals with free detail and Engine Bay. Hell, that's better than mine. Mine is $20 if you refer somebody and you get a free detail. So if my details are $100 and they refer 5 people, but I didn't give them the engine bay. I did an engine bay today on a Jaguar 50th anniversary. That engine was covered in plastic. Covered. But anyway, 5 referrals. That's about the same, but I never gave them the engine bay. Maybe I should do that. I just figure, if you refer 5 people, that's $20 off. It's $100. You get a free detail. How long does an engine bay cleaning take you? $15 referral, free detail with windshield ceramic. Ooh. Which one do you use? Which windshield coating do you use? I used, finally, the hydro glass from C6, 45-ish. 45 minutes? My goodness. Goodness gracious. Mine took about 10 minutes. And I did more than wipe it down, I brushed it and all of that good stuff. And he's a regular, um, with setup and crap. Got it. He's a regular, though. And I just charged $20. But I don't get all into it and all of that either. I use the brushes and cleaned it up. And I do those, I'm including my setup time. Okay. I, with the engine bay at the car lot, it takes me maybe 5 minutes to do a wipe down and then dress up the plastics. And then with a customer, I get a little more intricate and I use my pump sprayer to rinse it off and all that. But I don't use a lot of product, I don't foam and all of that good stuff. My shoulder hurts today. But I did a Jaguar, 50th anniversary Jaguar engine bay on a Jaguar. This guy, I don't get him. He wants an engine bay to clean. I was doing 15 off for referral each. And how did that work? Did that work out for you? See, because customers just want something that they can, you know, easily understand. And so my thought was, okay, well, it's easy to understand. You get $20 off your next detail for every one person you send me who actually gets a detail. Now, that's the thing, is they have to actually have a detail. And then I had to change my policy. Lord have mercy. People are in cancellation mode. It's like, shit. If I get up after working all night, they have to accumulate their referrals. They have to get the service, and I'll be different. Exactly. I agree. They have to accumulate the referrals. Hello, Barack. How you doing? Um, but yeah, those are my only stipulations. I just give them $20 off a detail, if the person actually gets a detail. And if they cancel, since that seems to be a big issue, if they cancel, I'm excited to get rolling. You should be. You should be. It's hard to structure a business and find the things that work, and, it's hard. Just the structure itself can be daunting. How's that networking going? Oh, everybody likes that cheddar. Everybody likes that cheddar cheese. I've been in the woods hunting for mushrooms too. Oh my gosh. Jerry used to do that. Every spring he would go mushroom hunting with his brother-in-law. His brother-in-law's got um, now dementia or something like that. She keeps looking at me like like I'm not doing something for her. What I miss? Networking has been fun. Going to another on 17th. Really? So, what are you doing? Looking for network groups, or are you going to like different events? How are you doing that? I wanted to join a networking group the other day, and the only problem is they meet on the in the morning, like 8:30 in the morning. The only time I'm going to be up at 8:30 in the morning is like on a Sunday morning when I'm having breakfast, and then I'm on my way to bed. Has them every month. Oh, so is this networking with other businesses? See, I'm not really sure how that all works, because if you're networking with businesses, you're depending on another business to. So I've been wondering about how that all works, because if those people, I mean, they may not have a lot of conversations with people about detailing. You know what I mean? So how do you think that works? And the other thing is that it's like my friend Shaylee, she actually ran the networking group when she was starting her business, her bookkeeping business. And everybody in the group, they, when we were talking about it, she's like, none of them use my service. They're too small. They typically work out of their homes and all of that. And I said, so then how does that work? And she said, most of them don't. And she is, from her original networking group, the only one that's still in business. And I thought, goodness gracious. So I do kind of wonder how other businesses bring business to you. They might use your service, but then does it end there? So I wonder how that works. I got one. Well, one is better than none. But it still makes me wonder how that all works. Because if you're networking to other businesses, aren't you supposed to be networking to other to customers? You know what I mean? I don't even know which direction to go. Like they have I guess it's a nationwide deal. Coffee, cars and coffee or something like that, which I had never heard of till I got into detailing. And then I hear that it's a once a month thing, you know. And I just don't wake up early enough. Hello, John. How you doing? I just don't wake up early enough to go to one of those. Hello, Nate. How you doing? You're out early. I just thought I would go live before I go to work in a little bit. Gotta do that night shift on the weekends. How you guys doing? We are talking about networking, and Mary is working on a referral program for her customers. I have a referral program, but mine is, for every person that gets a detail with me that you refer, you get $20 off. I just keep it simple that way. And but she's going to do a little extra where they get a free detail. 5 referrals is a free detail plus an engine bay, which I never thought to add an engine bay. Are you trucking, John? Or are you off today? I drove 200 kilometers today in the pouring rain to get more detailing products. Did you see the video that I used you as a reference? John, you said you were listening. Were you listening? I told you that AI can be fun. It gives all kinds of ideas and stuff, and I'm like, I could have never brainstormed that kind of stuff with another human being. But you brainstorm it with AI, and man, it comes up with all kinds of ideas, Mary. Yeah, the psychology of persuasion, John. I just detailed my mom's car and got too much damn sun today. I'm not looking forward to summer coming. No, the advertising and marketing one, John. That's the one where I used you as an example. Did you see that? My teeth about come flying out. You said you were listening when you were driving on the comments. So I was open, but then you never said anything. Okay. I got to glue my teeth down, but I'm not going to do it now. I'll wait until I go get in the shower and do everything then. Because I got to go to work. But if you go live, you got to have your teeth in. No, I did not, Nate. It's still sitting over there. I got a note on there that tells me the colors you chose. So I did coloring the other night. I went live while I colored 2 butterflies. The gearhead, steampunk, or whatever it's called. But I could only listen so long, and then I had to shut it down. Oh, so you missed it. That's the one I used you as an example. Yeah, that's a long video, but there was a lot of crap to cover. And so that's why I put it on Thursdays, like I do with any of the interviews that I'm going to do. The butterfly one, I did 2 of them. One was orange, and the other one was purple and blue and teal or something like that. That one actually was kind of cool. Do they have blue butterflies? Is there such a thing as a blue butterfly? I only talked about you for like 15 seconds, John. But I didn't know if you had a comment about my assessment. And it is right on with what you just said a little bit ago. You drove 200 kilometers for detailing products. Anyway, I'm going to do a horse head. I think I'm going to do one of the horse heads tonight. Nate, at work, if things are not crazy like they were last weekend. I didn't go live last weekend because it was nuts all weekend long. But we had the midget wrestling there. I got some DIY products today, of course, and some Rupes polishing and cutting pads. You like the Rupes? I'm not a big fan of them. They don't seem to hold up very well. Hell, I get a better result from the Amazon pads. I don't understand why the Rupes ones fail so much. I'm not pushing on them or anything. I'm not doing anything that's, I don't know. It's really weird. I don't have very good luck with them. I assume because you bought them that you do. The one I had the other day, it was a good thick pad, yellow pad. I think I'd only been working on it 15 minutes, and the damn thing just collapsed. And it was, I'm very lucky that the polisher didn't scratch the crap out of that car because it just fell in on itself. So what DIY products did you get today? I've never tried them. The guy talked me into them. You said the new pads are amazing. They're all he uses. Well, maybe it is the new ones that will be fine. Maybe it was their last. I don't know. They were given to me as a gift from Eddie Cologne in June of last year. And so I had not pulled these out of the package. So 3 different pads. That was the third one. All 3 of them. The first one came apart. I mean, the Velcro stayed, but the rest of it took off. And I had only just begun. I hadn't even finished like an 18-inch square. My Rupes polisher took a fall to the ground. I'm so mad it didn't break. But I've had it for 5 years and never had an accident, but whatever, I guess. I only have a Mac Shine polisher. Just the basic version, older version. I would be mad too. I have the same polisher as you do. You got tons of polishers from what I understand though, don't you, John? You're a polisher maniac. Flex 3401 because I never use it. Flex. I don't get too much into polishers. Mary's back. Now I'm down to 3 polishers because I sold the Flex. Who makes the Flex? Oh, okay, Mary. Makes its own polishers. That's a German. Oh, okay. I did not. I've never heard of it. Like I said, I don't get too much into polishers because I don't use them hardly at all. There's only certain situations. Now, I do have on the schedule, Mom's car is Tuesday. Need to get it enhanced. And then when I get it cleaned off, I need to put a coating on it. So we'll see how it all goes. I got 600 for it. I said, yeah, you can have it. Oh, hell. I told myself as I picked it up, if it doesn't run, if it doesn't turn on, I'm done detailing for good. How did you drop it? What caused you to drop it? Okay, there is 5 votes now. Oh, mozzarella took the lead. Premium polisher, it will always keep going. It is kind of easy to drop a polisher if you're moving from one place to another. Because I'll try to do that one-handed, and of course, you know, that can be an issue. Oh, we're finally going to get up to a decent temperature tomorrow. We had snow today. Rain and snow. So it rained. It's been that pissing rain for 2 days off and on. And then today we had rain, and it finally turned to snow. It was only 39 degrees, but it was still snow. And of course, it was wind driven. We had blasted wind. And it only lasted a couple of hours. We didn't accumulate anything, but it was cold. When I did that engine bay today, it was cold. My hands were frozen by the time I was done with that. It don't take long. Are happy for the rain. I'm telling you. You need to find somebody with a mushroom crop. Is there something like that? Is there such a thing? A mushroom crop? How do you breed fungus? I set it on the hood of my girl's car, and it slowly slid off along with my fave hoodie it was sitting on top of. Damn. So I tried the DIY 25mm polisher today. It's capable, but I'm keeping my... Oh! I found a super tiny one on the 3rd. A super tiny one. Love from Iran. Hello, Legs Oz. How you doing? That's the worst. Yeah, that's the worst. So if you hadn't have put it on your hoodie, that tells me you got a really slick surface on the car. Because it all just... Oh, we got 6 votes now. Mozzarella's way ahead. Look at that. See, I'm a mozzarella girl. Sure is. If it would have broke, I could afford buying a new one. You couldn't afford or you could afford. They're expensive. Although, if you look at like Facebook Marketplace, there's a ton of them on there that you can afford. I don't know if they work. Thank goodness it didn't break. Yeah. God bless you. You look like my aunt. Well, hey, nothing wrong with that, I don't assume. Did you vote in the poll? Everybody tell me, mozzarella or cheddar? Mozzarella for me. But I'm not a big fan of the food coloring. I think that's why. Now I have a rotary. It's just a Harbor Freight rotary my dad bought. And it broke. I mean, it fell a year ago, maybe. It fell. And I thought, oh, it's probably not going to work. But it worked. It still worked. I was like, oh, I don't use it as much now. I use the Mac Shine more than anything. But that's because it's DA. And the rotary takes a lot of upper body strength. Bella is running in her sleep. Good stuff. Just got to change the grease. You know what? I was looking at the Mac Shine one, and I don't know that there's a place where I don't know if you can get that off of there to grease it up. I'm looking at this going, will I be able to grease that up? I can't figure it out. And I haven't found any videos on it. I did find one on a Rupes and something else. I can't remember. Yeah, she's over here running. I have Ivan's rotary. It's amazingly smooth. You should be able to service it. I would think so, but I can't figure it out. It's driving me nuts because, of course, I'm thinking, I've been using this for almost a year now. I should be able to at least grease it up, make sure it's still in good working order. It's kind of like the other equipment I have, just that small extractor, the small shop vac. But the DA has too much vibration for me. DAs do have a lot of vibration. But I will tell you, you know how I've battled that, John? Well, let me get back to the equipment, like the little shop vac. I've done my very best to keep them clean and taken good care of and all of that so they last me a while. And the DA is no different. My polisher is no different, but I can't figure it out. Anyway, the DA does have a lot of vibration, John. But I do like, just for argument's sake, the palm sander that you can get at Harbor Freight. It has the dual action. I love it. In fact, when I do Mom's car enhancement, I'm thinking about putting a pad on that polisher, on that sander, and doing it that way. That way, it's going to, because I'm doing the entire car, so it's going to save my hands, because I do struggle with that arthritis in my hands. And so I'm thinking if I do the entire car, the palm sander is going to do a better job as far as just an enhancement. Yeah, it's easy to do that. Send it up here to Canada and we'll send it back down with some quality grease. I'm telling you, I may have to do that, John, because I'm like, speaking of, I was going to send something to Mary I went over to the post office. I was ready to send it off. And of course, I didn't have it boxed up or anything because I wasn't exactly sure what to do with it. And instantly, they're like, well, we need to know what's in here. And they started reading the box. And then she said, can I open this? And I said, sure. And so she opened it and she saw that everything was still boxed up. And she goes, I need to know what's in here because this is a hazardous material that could cause problems in shipping. And I'm like, I just wanted it sent by ground. And, because if you fly them, sometimes the bottles can explode, and I didn't want that. And all I wanted was for it to be sent by ground. And she had every freaking excuse as to why I couldn't. So then she said, well, you'll need to get a hold of the manufacturer. So I got a hold of Tyler and talked to him, and he goes, I have never had a problem with that. And I'm like, well, what the WTF? So my dad and I had a conversation about it a little while ago. Not today. It was yesterday. And I told him I was frustrated because I wanted to send this to Illinois, but for some reason, the post office gave me a fit about hazardous material. Nobody else has done that. And when I got it in the box, in the package, it wasn't marked hazardous. And all I want to do is send it ground. I didn't want the thing to blow up. He said, quit dealing with them effers. He said, take it over to UPS. I'm like, oh, never thought about that. So it's going to cost me a little bit more, but I'm just going to take it to UPS. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is bag up the products. That way, in the case that they do explode, my bases are covered. It didn't come to me bagged up, and it's a pretty damn good product. I mean, doesn't even smell, well, I guess the body prep smells like ammonia. It is. The post office is just, nowadays it's like you can't send something, and when you do, a stuffed ass toy is going to cost you $30 to send it. So anyway, he said, quit going to the post office. Just go to UPS. He said, but the UPS has a downside too. He said, UPS can't seem to find the addresses they're supposed to deliver to. So what they do is they look you up from 10 years ago and send it to that address. And I'm like, what? Anyway, let me show you. This. That's it. It's got the applicator, and it's got the body prep and the coating. And I'm like, I just want to forward it on to somebody and let them try it. And truck it down to Lower Wacker Boulevard, close to where you are, Mary. Yeah, I just want to pass it on and let somebody else give it a try. It was given to me, and I don't do a lot of interiors that people would want this. And so I figured I would pass it along and let somebody else give it a try. That way it doesn't go to waste, because there's quite a bit here. And Jazzy's doing okay. She's right there. She hangs out right there most of the time. But she's good. But anyway, yeah. So the post office gives me this runaround. And they read the box. And I'm like... And then they pulled out the... let me show you. The bags where the gloves came in. And they're like, where's the information on this? And I said, there is no information. It says gloves. I didn't put any gloves in it because I figured Mary had some gloves that she could use. So anyway, that's the latest drama. I'm just trying to pass it on as it was passed to me. Let somebody give it a try, see what they think. Um, all I require is that she do a video on it. But yeah, I mean, I even told them they had a QR code. You could look it up. I said, they ship these all the time. Then she goes, because I said, people order this and they ship them all the time. She goes, uh, they probably have a pre-arranged agreement with the post office. And I said, then that right there should tell you it can be shipped. Anyway, whatever. So, that's the latest drama. Ticked me off. They were just being ignorant. I'm telling you. And of course, and then I'm wasted all this time trying to figure out, I'm reading the bottles, trying to figure out, where the hazardous material comes in. And so I'm reading as much as I can find on their website. They do have the MSDS available. And then this lady tells me I need to go to USPS.com and look and see if the chemicals can even be shipped. And so anyway, when I walked away, I was not a happy camper. And you all know me. No filter over my mouth, right? And I said, things wouldn't be so bad with the post office if you guys would stop effing complicating everything. Then I walked away because I didn't want to hear anybody griping because I used a bad word. So, yeah, all I wanted to do was forward this kid on. And the first few weeks was on me because I was lazy. But now, for the last 2 weeks, I've been dicking around with all this drama from the post office. And then I talked to my dad and he said, screw that shit. Go to UPS. So, on payday, I'm going to go to UPS. I found the nearest store. It's quite a ways away, but I'll go down there and see what I can figure out. See if they'll ship it. But in the meantime, that way there is no argument. I will bag it up. I'll bag up the 2 bottles. Ridiculous. Yeah, Jesse's doing good, Nate. Head buried, sleeping. My friend said to thank you for the updates on the tornado. She couldn't even get them in her own hometown. And she's welcome. I've noticed that, back in the 90s, in 91, we had a pretty big tornado. It was an EF5 that started just to the south of here, and it even went right through the middle of McConnell Air Force Base. And it narrowly missed by going just to the south the bombers that were locked and loaded with, ICBMs or whatever they're called. Anyway. And then it went on up to Andover. And that is where my second family had been heading for my second dad's birthday. Anyway, his wife and his son and him were all 3. Oh, no, Pat was not killed. The mother, she was seriously, seriously injured. But the dad jumped on top of her in a little culvert, but it wasn't much. They watched this tornado coming up as they went across 54 highway heading to Andover. She got on the ground in the culvert. Her husband jumped on top of her, and then his son jumped on top of both of them. It took over 24 hours to find the son's body, and they found his body not too far away, um, in bad shape, but they were both killed. And then Pat sustained some very serious injuries, puncture wounds and all of that. After that, that broke my heart so bad. After that, I decided, I was doing some, computers were new, and so I was doing some research on that. I work at 11 tonight, my time, so I don't even know what time it is right now. It's coming up on 9 o'clock tonight, so in 2 hours. I'll leave here at about 15 till, because I just have to go across the highway. Anyway, doing a little bit of research, and one of the things that it said is, in order to get over your fears, you have to face them. So I got really big into storm chasing, big into storm chasing. I went to all of the storm spotter meetings. I even took 2 courses in weather, especially severe weather. And then over time, because radar images and everything has changed, it's evolved. The problem is most of them can't read it. But I watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to use how to read specific radar. Look at all of the, what's the convection radar, what's the velocity radars, and things like that. And then your coefficient radars, which is what you probably saw me doing the other night. And that is just basically confirmation that there is a tornado. So, and even then, that's not even an exact science, because like I said the other night, I was using that, and that looks like a great big debris cloud that was on that coefficient radar. And but there was definite rotation. It was right there on radar, you could see it, and it was strong rotation. But they said there was no tornado. It was just a funnel. But anyway, most people today cannot read those radars. Most people in meteorology cannot read those radars. They can't even do a simple weather forecast without the National Weather Service doing it for them. Meteorologists back in the day, they used a system of math in order to come up with the forecast. I will tell you today, forecasting is worse than it was in the 90s, because in the 90s, they kind of narrowed it down and nailed it most every time. And nowadays, they can't seem to get that right. So the TV stations don't even like to go live now. I'd quit my job yesterday to chase tornadoes today. They can't even do a simple calculation from what I can tell. Exactly. And so they've had, local TV. I haven't even turned on my TV. I hardly ever do. It's just sitting there. I've had it I bought it a few months before Becca was diagnosed in 2012. Okay. I kept it because I bought it for her. And I turn it on when there's severe weather. I live in a mobile home. And when I turn it on, I put it on the radar channel. I don't even care. I don't have the weather channel. I don't even care what they have to say. 99% of the time, they're wrong. They don't even know what they're talking about. And that's if they even talk about it at all. We had 2 or 3 years ago. No, it was about 3 or 4 years ago because Bella was not tiny, but she was still a puppy, and she didn't even have all of her hair, all of the long curly hair. Um, she was just like a bald puppy, and she had those lanky legs with the skinny body and the big head. And we had a funnel come across the just the air. It came across the highway. It followed the exact same path as that Andover tornado, which most of them do. The one in 2022 did the same thing. It started to the south of here by Hayesville, worked its way up, and destroyed half of Andover in 2022. And it created a suction that I couldn't get my door open to get out. I got her in a carrier along with Zoe, and I grabbed the dog, and I was trying to get out so that we could get in the car and head to the shelter, which is catty corner over here, okay? And I couldn't get my door open. And my son called me on the phone. At the time, he lived down the road here in the same park. And he said, get over here to the shelter. And I was scared. I am not even kidding. And so I told him I couldn't get out. And he said, I'm on my way. I said, no, take shelter there. And I dumped this chair over. I figured if we're going to go for a ride, I'm going to have a chair over the top of me or something. And I grabbed them and put them in there, and I was in like a fetal position. And I'll tell you what, that freaked me the hell out. But the local news never went live. I had just been watching the radar and knew it was coming, but did not know that there was, that was in I want to say that was 2020 when that happened, and that scared the living piss out of me. Not even kidding. So now I watch every YouTube channel that I can on all the weather radars and all of that. And no, I didn't watch actually, yeah, I did kind of, well, I watched one of them. There's a few of them out there on YouTube. But I was delivering for Walmart when the Joplin tornado happened. So we were all called up to take empty trailers up to, and it took us forever to get to the Walmart. There were 2 Walmarts damaged in that Joplin tornado. The one called Webb City, which is just on the north side of Joplin, and then the other one, because that thing was huge. Huge. It was massive. So I went to the one in Joplin proper, and then the other guys, including my ex-husband, went to the one in Webb City with their empty trailers. There was 11 of us that went up there. The Webb City one didn't need as many trailers because it was not a super Walmart like the one in Joplin proper. Hello, Jamie. How you doing? But anyway, we saw a lot of the damage there, and the police helped us to clear the road so we could get into the Walmart in Joplin proper with our trailers, because there was nothing we could do about everything in the freezer, because after 3 hours, everything in your freezer has to go to the trash. And but we were after the goods that were still wrapped and boxed and all of that, and we had to, we were in the back of our trailers, and they handed us stuff, and they had guys up there with pallet jacks moving everything in, and we took everything back to the back warehouse at the DC. And I don't know what they did with it from there. I don't know if they redistributed it or it went to the back warehouse. So I'm going to assume they were assessing what they could save and couldn't. I'm assuming. It was a crazy time, and that was a sad, sad sight. I think it was topic of conversation for months after that. It was crazy. It was sad. So many people died. Peanut butter cookies. I just thought I'd get on live for a little bit before I went to work, Jamie. Did you ever hear the Ruskin Heights tornado? It was an F5 that was on the ground for an hour in Kansas. There was tremendous loss of life, apparently. Ruskin Heights? In Kansas? When was this? Is that the Greensburg tornado? We've had several destructive tornadoes. Obviously, we're in the middle. Well, we were in the middle of Tornado Alley. That shit's moved east for some reason. We've had Andover has gotten hit twice. Greensburg, the entire town was leveled in one swipe. It was a 1.5 mile wide tornado, and it took out the entire town. In fact, the only thing that survived with some damage to roof shingles was a little bitty mom and pop hotel. And then we had I can't think of the name of it. Getting in the vehicle now. Harrington? Or Heston? Heston, Kansas. They were hit on prom night with all of those kids at the high school gym. All of them survived. But half of the town was wiped out there. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Oh, and Udall. Udall was completely wiped off the map in 1955 by a tornado. Hard pass on the cookies, but if you ever make Frito pie, I'm definitely coming over. Frito pie? Holy hell, that sounds good. That sounds really good. So anyway, I just really have gotten into the weather stuff. 1957. I'll have to look that up. I'm wondering if that's the one. There's another one that happened. It was like northeast Kansas. Somewhere up there. I'll have to look that up. Now you gave me something to do tonight. But we've had a few of them that just wiped out towns in one swipe. They come across and they just wipe out the towns. The one in Heston killed 7 or 8 people. The one in Andover killed 13. And then the one in Udall killed like 20-something people. And the one in Greensburg killed, I don't know, 12 to 15 of their residents. Because it was in the middle of the frickin' night. And that was the craziest part. We had just picked up in California. Me and Jerry were on the road at the time. And we had to come up through 54. And Greensburg is on 54. And they had, by the time we reached here to Kansas, they had the highway cleared up so they could open it back up again. There were big trucks that were just sucked up in the middle of fields. You could see them over there. And Jerry and he went, oh my God. Anyway, we had just seen a little excerpt of it at the truck stop while we were getting a shower and all of that good stuff, on the way to Kansas. Because when you're heading to the northeast with the southwest load, you come right through the middle and you take all the back roads and work your way up. Oklahoma gets a lot of it, seems recently. Well, I don't know if you've been paying attention. The last 3 days have been nothing but hell for everybody in southeast Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mississippi. I mean, these people are just taking a constant beating. Most of that stuff has moved to the east. Um, in the early 2000s, Moore, Oklahoma has been taking a beating, and they continue to rebuild there. How many tornadoes has destroyed that community? Can anybody tell me? How many? And they just keep rebuilding it. In a 10-year period, 12-year period, 4 tornadoes wiped that place off. Homemade chicken pot pie for dinner tonight. Oh my gosh. That sounds good. Will you stop? Why are you giving me the side eye? She's giving me a side eye. On my way, John. That sounds good. Chicken pot pie. Homemade chicken pot pies. Yummy. You know, back in the day, we used to make, in a pie plate, chicken pot pies. They would make them, and we'd get our portion dished out, and I'm like, oh. Then, of course, you think when you buy a pot pie from the grocery store, it's going to taste the same. Hell no. Come on over. Hey, quit. Humberto has not been hanging out on Detail Grandma's channel much. I have no idea where he's at. He'll send me things on Instagram once in a while, but even that's slowed down. No idea. A lot of my videos, he's been MIA until much later, like 1 or 2 days later. Tonight, I think he did comment on it. Isn't there other lives and stuff going on? Maybe he's over there. Hell, I don't know. But he has not been hanging out with Detailed Grandma much. I'm not his grandma anymore. I don't know. That's all I ever see him do. But he hasn't even been doing that. The first one on mine is either Carlos, Mary, or John. And John always says first from Canada. Don't even try it. Yeah, they've had many, many tornadoes. That right there shows you that that is a vulnerable place and you probably should stop rebuilding. They need to move their town. That is not uncommon. She's got it. She's got it right here. Don't give me that side eye. Bring it here. Bring it here. He hasn't sent me much either. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's got something going on at the house or whatever, where he's kind of involved in that or whatever. But I don't know. I guess if I need to, I'll just go track his ass down. But yeah, that's not uncommon to move cities and towns. For example, if you look up Wakefield, Kansas, is it Wakefield? They kept flooding back in the day. So they literally went to the trouble to pack up and lift these homes off their foundations and move them. And they moved them like 10 miles. And the town that, part of the town that's left is underwater in Milford Lake or something like that. It is in the bottom of the lake. I'm like, holy crap. So anyway, you find out things like that. They used to move towns and solve problems like that. And so it's not uncommon. And Moore, Oklahoma. Well, speak of the devil. Hello, Blackheart. I like the way you talk because your voice is beautiful. Oh, that's terrible because I'm a smoker and drink coffee and everything. I sound like I'm an old grumpy lady sometimes, or at least that's what I'm told. But anyway, hello, Humberto. I'm getting ready to go get ready for work. It said Moore, Oklahoma is a great city to live in, offering peace and tranquility. Well, I don't know where they're getting that peace crap from. You're going to get a tornado coming through the middle of your town every day. Oh, which one? I made these. This is paint pouring art. So I made these. You mix paints and then you pour them onto the canvas. And anyway, so I made those. I want to make some more. Somebody else was here. Hassan, how you doing, Hassan? What's up, Gramps? And then that's a picture of me and my daughter. But yeah, I just put those up. I like this one. I think that one turned out pretty cool. This one is nice, but I wish I'd had more color. Heard me when? No, we didn't hear you. We were just asking where the hell you've been. Because I'm like, he hasn't been on Detailed Grandma's channel in a while. I don't know what happened to him. Carolina, how you doing? Gosh, you guys. Yeah, I'll be getting off here in about 10 minutes. And I got to go get a shower and all that. How's hubby doing, Carolina? So, John, to finish up my story, I have just loved watching severe weather. If I could, like now they have YouTube channels of guys like Ryan Hall, Max Velocity. You've got lots of storm chasers that have YouTube channels. Yeah, everybody shows up when I'm going to get off here. Belated birthday for my sister. Oh, how fun. Well, happy birthday to sister. He is relaxing in the recliner. I just love that stuff, John. So I'm glad that I was able to at least give her an idea because locals don't seem to care about that anymore. What are you just creeping in back all quiet, Humberto? How old is she now? Oh, yeah, I haven't been over there since Carlos's interview when it was rudely interrupted. I kind of had a problem with that. I am sorry I couldn't get here earlier, and thank you for the picture you did the other night. It was very pretty. Oh, which one? The butterflies? I did another one with the butterflies. I did 2 butterflies. I thought they were the same one. Then I got to looking and I'm like, those are two different ones. So we can all help. I'll tell you, if I could bring y'all with me to help me out, I would do it. I was having dinner at Panda Express. Let's see. So John's having homemade chicken pot pie. Nate's talking about Frito pies. And Humberto's having Panda Express. Man, all kinds of good food options. I'm hoping that I don't have the mess that I had last weekend. Last weekend was bad. It's like nobody had filled the sundry at all for a week. Whose? She's in a mood. My mom's food. Yummy. I gotta go back and watch the butterfly. I meant the Scorpio pic you colored. I bragged to hubby about it. I did a live. I don't even know what day it was. I was bored. It was late. And I didn't expect anybody to be there. But there were a few people that stuck around. They just didn't say anything. Nobody commented. I think one person commented on there in the beginning. And I colored one butterfly picture, and then I looked for another one and saw that the other butterfly picture was also the gear steampunk or whatever. And then I thought, well, that one's different. So I did that one I did the one in the orange, all the different orange colors. And I did the other one in the blues and purples. And it turned out pretty cool. Black pepper Angus steak, grilled teriyaki chicken, and veggie spring rolls. Yummy. $1.58 nickels tonight. It takes everything I can not to call somebody just plumb stupid. The whole time while you were coloring, yelling for you to color my Aries. Sorry. I've got it. I've got it over there. I got a note on it, a post-it note on it, telling me the colors you want. So it's sitting over there waiting. But you didn't come and show up the other night, so I didn't do it. I just left it sitting there. And I did 2 butterflies. Those were kind of hard. You want to see? Oh, let me show them to you. But yeah, I still got the Aries over there. So here's the one. I did this one. And this was with the oranges, the orange blends. And then I did this one. I thought they were the same, but they're not the same. They're very different. Cabbage, my secret season with spicy twist. Yummy. Oh, and onions. I went last week, 2 weeks ago. Got glass cleaner from Car Candy. Carolina, dang, I know she's talking some. Go back and watch the video and you'll see my comments. No, you didn't. You didn't comment on my one with the butterflies. You weren't there. Or at least it didn't show me any comments. Literally, only one person commented on that video. It was like a 2-hour video, and I got 1 comment. And only a couple of people were there. I never saw a comment. except for the shellfish because I am allergic to it. Interior cleaner, the quick wash, and some Rupes pads. Yeah, I didn't see any comments on that one. I was watching the comments, and none of them ever popped up, or I would have done it. But I've still got it sitting over there. I got to work tonight, so I can't do it tonight. But yeah, this one I think is kind of cool. Blue and purple and teal. This one is pretty cool. Now, I'll tell you what. I don't know what colors to color these dang things. These gears and all of that drama. I just chose some colors, some greens and some reds and browns. It turned out okay. But the butterfly is cool. I wanted the butterflies to stick out. So anyway, yeah, I did. My last live, I did 2 butterflies. But yeah, I got a note over there. I'll get it, Nate. It's just a matter of me going live when everybody's around. And my sleep schedule is completely screwed up. Catching up to do on your videos. I just did one live. And then obviously my other videos that posted doesn't even recognize her own grandkids anymore. I'm just kidding. No, seriously. Go watch that video. If you commented, it never popped up for me. Are you talking about the video where I colored these? No, you were not even there, Humberto. I think Mary said she was there, but she didn't speak to me because I was coloring. Well, it never showed me that comment, Nate. Not one time. I got one comment, and what the hell did that guy say? He said something, or are you from Arkansas? Is what he said. And I never got a comment. So if you guys, you was there, if you guys were there, I had no idea. I had no idea. I was watching the comments. But it was literally quiet. Nothing. I saw 3 people there. And then it dwindled down to 2 people for a while. And I just colored. Well, then YouTube is doing the same thing they were doing that one time, remember? I told you what happens is the comments just stop. And then they shoot across. But nothing shot across. I got no comments, or I would have done it that day. We was there, and no one said hi. I'll be damned. Oh, I never saw a comment from you at all, Humberto. I only saw the one comment from the guy asking if I was from Arkansas. And that's it. One comment. Me and Mary were there. I'll be damned. Well, now I'm pissed because I sat there. I just colored for 2 hours. I figured everybody was in bed. It was late. I figured everybody was in bed. I wasn't going to worry about it. I'll be dang. You were more focused on coloring, but I was there. I kept looking at the comments, looking for them. And if you were there, you'd have known that. Because I said, hello, everybody. You can say hi to me. And never got a word. That's crazy. That makes me mad, though. That's another thing about YouTube lives that's making me mad. Is you don't get the comments. You don't know who's there. And the other thing is, when I go live, half the time, nobody comes. And I just feel like it's because I even said hi to Mary and Hassan, and there were no replies, so I thought they were either concentrated or sleeping. There must have been a problem with it there. No, Humberto, he said he was there. That's crazy. But yeah, half the time when I go live, nobody comes. And so I felt like YouTube wasn't notifying anybody. YouTube's trying to kill my channel. And I believe that to be a fact. There's no other reason why 3,000 subscribers don't know that I'm posting anything. And why are they subscribed if they can't handle watching any of my videos? That doesn't make anything. It make any sense. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It never told me any of you were there. I'm so sorry. I remember that comment. I typed my Aries and you chose another butterfly. I'll be damned. YouTube is being lube tube again. Yeah, I just feel like YouTube is trying to kill the channel. I really do. And it's going to win because eventually I'm going to be like, I am wasting too much of my time putting videos out with no views. I mean, what's the point? And right now I am in that phase. What's the point? Because it takes a lot of time to record videos. And Carlos is having the same problem. He's struggling to get 1,000 views. He's got almost 15,000 people. And he can't even get 1,000 out of that. That's what we're talking about. When you invest all that time and YouTube is picking and choosing who they want to succeed, it makes you feel like, what's the point? Not even worth my time anymore. But I'm in that phase, and I think you guys know it because I don't go live much anymore. And a lot of that is because of what you guys are talking about. I had no idea anybody was there. Don't leave us, Grandma. If you do, I want your phone number. My phone number should be on the YouTube right there. For customers, I received the notification and went in. Huh, that's crazy. I have no idea. I mean, when you talk to people about your YouTube channel, how if it's failing, it's your fault. I don't think I have that bad of an opinion of other people's videos, but I find videos that they simply, and I'm low maintenance, I simply can't sit there and watch them. And I will still watch them, but I simply can't sit there and watch them. Me, I try to do a video where we're getting back to detailing. Better, or he will have to cook for himself. So, I don't know. That's why I'm struggling with it. YouTube is really trying to kill my channel. Now, I can understand low views on videos like the advertising and marketing one because everybody wants an instant fix to their or their customer problem. They don't want to spend an hour watching a video to kind of understand how some of that works. And I get the low views on something like that, but on just detailing, do people really hate me that much for quitting DIY detail? Because he changed the name of the channel, it really angered the algorithm of YouTube. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what I do. I've even considered, I had, 2 weeks where I had no videos? I didn't have any detailing. It's too cold. And I had no way to make videos. I was out of options. And Even with the 2-week break, it didn't improve. It got worse. So, in my opinion, YouTube is picking and choosing. And I think a lot of that is the algorithm is looking at where everybody is hanging out. And everybody is hanging out on certain channels. And those channels are the only ones that are going to be successful. And so now we're kind of like, we're losing interest. I mean, if we're going to be targeted by the algorithm, what's the point? What's the point of it? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I've been struggling with it. And then obviously lives, I find out that you guys were actually there. Um, that just angers me even more. I didn't realize Brian changed the name until a few weeks later. I didn't know either. Humberto, I think, is the one who told me. Gosh, you guys, I gotta go. I gotta get in the shower. Get away from there. I gotta get in the shower. Something funny happening. It is. And it's aggravating as hell. Carlos is having the problem. So is a couple of other YouTubers. And we're like, if this is the best you can do, as far as the algorithm, when we've done nothing to change anything except the times, because we're like, obviously, the evenings are taken up by other channels that the algorithm likes, because the algorithm follows the viewers. A lot of people don't realize that. The algorithm follows the viewers. So if the viewers are spending their time on this channel, they're going to push that channel to those viewers. And other things start happening. The bad side of that is other things start happening. And so use salmon for him. Oh, yummy. Yummy. Salmon is good. You're going to go to work at the hotel? Yes. I have to go to work at the hotel, but I need a shower and all that and glue my teeth down. I threw them in so I could do a live. I just woke up 7 or so. In fact, I messaged Mary about 15 minutes after I woke up. I did my best to stay up last night, and then this morning I had to get up in a few hours so that I could go do that engine bay detail. And my credit score dropped. What the hell? I know. But that's because you had no debt there. Yeah. I'm telling you, it does. It's a struggle, and it's really been considering the amount of time that goes into one video for me, recording, editing, uploading, description, thumbnail, and all of that is about 6 hours. And if the best that I can get is 25 views out of that, it is not worth it. It's not worth it. In fact, let me tell you, I got paid one time from YouTube. That was my first month, and I have not seen pay since. When was that? I got monetized in October. October of last year, and I have not made a penny since. In fact, I'm still just at $56 right now. YouTube is, I don't even know if it's YouTube. I don't know what's going on, but did or didn't fill up the sundry. I'm telling you, I need to, that pissed me off. Last Saturday, I was so angry. It was not a good idea for me to go live. I would have probably inadvertently taken that out on everybody else. But I was so angry. All the crap, that idiot that is on third shift during the week, that idiot can't do his job to save his life, and there is simply zero accountability to him. I was so angry. I didn't even go live. And then I thought Sunday will be better. No, we had the midget wrestling. It was crazy. So anyway, I do need to get off here. you guys, if I can, I will be going live again in a little while. It's going to be around that 12 to 1 mark if I'm able to go live. 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. Central. So if you're on the East Coast, it's going to be super, super late. And if you're on the West Coast, it'll be bedtime right around. So anyway, you guys, it's good to see you guys. Glad your comments are popping up. From what I understand, they didn't the other day. Otherwise, I would have been all in the conversation with you guys, and I apologize for that. Welcome to YouTube. Anyway, I'm going to see you later. Hopefully, I can go and have a good night at work tonight. Love you too, Nate. Love you guys. See you later. Peace.